Love defies convention, and these 10 films capture that magic perfectly. From opulent Parisian period pieces to modern high-stakes romances, we are counting down the stories that prove age is just a number. Welcome back to Screen Curator. Let us dive into your next favorite watch. We begin our countdown with the ultimate blueprint of generational collision, the iconic masterpiece, The Graduate. If you have ever felt entirely adrift in your own life, watching Dustin Hoffman's Benjamin Braddock float aimlessly in his family's swimming pool will feel instantly familiar. The story plunges us into the life of a recent college graduate suffocating under the weight of suburban expectations who finds a sudden, thrilling escape in the arms of the enigmatic older Mrs. Robinson. Played with a razor-sharp, seductive melancholy by Anne Bancroft, she represents both a dangerous temptation and a profound awakening for our lost protagonist. This is not just a simple romance. It is a beautifully tense portrait of the magnetic pull between youthful confusion and mature experience. Backed by the melancholy warmth of Simon and Garfunkel's legendary soundtrack, director Mike Nichols crafts a world that feels both deeply intimate and visually hypnotic, capturing the feeling of being trapped in a human-sized aquarium. If you crave a story that is sharp, witty, and unapologetically honest about the messy nature of human connection, this timeless cinematic milestone is the perfect place to start your watch list. For our number 9 spot, we are turning back the clock to a 1971 masterpiece that completely redefines the chemistry of on-screen connection. You absolutely must experience Harold and Maude. Directed by the brilliant Hal Ashby, this dark, deliciously eccentric romance pairs Harold, a wealthy, death-obsessed young man who spends his days staging elaborate fake suicides, with Maude, a vibrant 79-year-old free spirit who meets him while joyriding through local funerals. What follows is one of the most wonderfully unconventional love stories ever captured on celluloid. The film operates on a striking visual frequency, beautifully contrasting Harold's bleak, monochromatic world with Maude's chaotic, colorful lifestyle, backed by the warm, acoustic melodies of an iconic Cat Stevens soundtrack. Their blossoming bond challenges every societal expectation to prove that love is the ultimate catalyst for choosing to truly live. If you are tired of formulaic, superficial romance and want a story that is wildly funny, fiercely original, and deeply life-affirming, this cinematic triumph absolutely demands a spot on your watch list. It is a warm hug for the misfit in all of us, reminding us to love without limits. Coming in at number 8, you absolutely need to lose yourself in the sun-drenched, transformative world of how Stella got her groove back. This is not just a romance. It is a gorgeous visual awakening. We follow Stella, a high-powered stockbroker who has spent her life checking every box of societal success, only to realize she is entirely suffocated by her own routine. When she flees to Jamaica, the film explodes into a warm palette of turquoise waters and golden hour romance, introducing her to a magnetic, much younger local man who challenges every reservation she holds. What makes this ride so intoxicating is the genuine, palpable chemistry between Angela Bassett and Taye Diggs in his star-making debut. It avoids cheap cliches, choosing instead to celebrate a woman reclaiming her sensuality, her spontaneity, and her right to joy on her own terms. If you are looking for a story that feels like a warm tropical breeze, packed with emotional depth and an undeniable passion that will make you want to pack your bags and risk it all, this classic is your ticket. Coming in at number 7 on our list, you absolutely need to check out the radiant modern romance, The Idea of You. This film sweeps you into the life of Celine, a 40-year-old art gallery owner who finds her quiet post-divorce world utterly upended during a trip to Coachella, when a chance encounter leads her into the private trailer of Hayes Campbell, the charismatic 24-year-old frontman of the world's biggest boy band. An immediate electric spark ignites between them. What makes this ride so intoxicating isn't just the glamorous fantasy of dating a pop star, but the palpable raw chemistry between Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzine. Galitzine, a musician himself, breathes authentic soul into his performance, while Hathaway portrays Celine with a beautifully grounded vulnerability. The film masterfully balances the breathless thrill of a secret whirlwind romance with the harsh modern reality of living in the public eye. It is an incredibly warm, emotionally mature journey about reclaiming your own desire when the world tells you your time has passed. If you want a romance that feels both incredibly glamorous and deeply human, this is the one to queue up next. Coming in at number 6 on our countdown, you absolutely need to queue up the sparkling romantic comedy A Family Affair. Imagine the ultimate professional nightmare. Finding out your self-absorbed, high-maintenance movie star boss is secretly sleeping with your widowed mother. That is the delicious, chaotic hook of this film, which stars Joey King as a long-suffering personal assistant caught between her professional sanity and her mother's sudden passionate awakening. Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron share an electric, surprisingly tender chemistry that anchors the film's glossy, modern-day charm with genuine heart. Originally carrying a far more provocative working title, this story beautifully subverts traditional Hollywood double standards by placing a vibrant, mature woman at the center of a narrative journey toward reclaiming her identity, sensuality, and desire. The film brilliantly balances laugh-out-loud situational awkwardness and sharp comedic banter with sincere, heart-tugging moments about the sheer vulnerability of second chances. If you are looking for a romance that feels delightfully messy, deeply human, and unashamedly fun, this is the perfect star-studded watch to prove that love is rarely convenient, but always worth the chaos. Sliding into our number 5 spot, you absolutely need to check out the criminally overlooked romantic gem, The Rebound. Forget the glossy, idealized tropes of typical Hollywood age gap stories. This film captures a deeply authentic, funny, and surprisingly tender slice of life in New York City. We follow Sandy, played with brilliant, relatable vulnerability by Catherine Zeta-Jones, a newly single mother starting over in the big city who finds an unexpected connection with Aram, a sweet, somewhat aimless 25-year-old played with effortless charm by Justin Bartha. What starts as a practical nanny arrangement blossoms into a deeply comforting romance that questions what it actually means to be ready for love. This is a rare breed of romantic comedy that champions the quiet beauty of genuine companionship and the immense courage it takes to rebuild yourself after your world falls apart. Due to a chaotic distribution history, it bypassed American theaters entirely, making it a true hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. If you want a romance that feels like a warm, honest embrace rather than a contrived Hollywood fairy tale, this is the perfect watch to make you believe in second chances. Coming in at number 4 is a criminally overlooked romantic comedy that deserves a permanent spot on your watch list, The Sparkling and Self-Aware I Could Never Be Your Woman. Directed by the brilliant Amy Heckerling, the genius behind Clueless, this film is a vibrant, delightfully cynical love letter to anyone who has ever felt aged out by a youth-obsessed world. We follow Michelle Pfeiffer as a sharp-witted television producer who unexpectedly falls head over heels for a charismatic, much younger actor played by the endlessly charming Paul Rudd. What makes this ride so irresistible is how it balances genuine, buttersoft, romantic chemistry with a biting, satirical edge. It tackles the industry's double standards with laugh-out-loud humor, including a hilarious Tracy Ullman as a cynical Mother Nature whispering insecurities into our heroine's ear. Add in a brilliant debut performance from a young Saoirse Ronan, and you have a romance that is as intellectually sharp as it is emotionally sweet. It is a wonderfully cozy, witty escape that proves love does not care about the calendar, and it is high time you finally gave this hidden gem the love it deserves. Sliding into our number 3 spot is a breathtakingly sumptuous romance that you absolutely need to experience. Stephen Frears' exquisite period drama, Chéri, reuniting the creative mastermind behind Dangerous Liaisons with a transcendent Michelle Pfeiffer. This beautiful film sweeps us into the gilded, indulgent world of Belle Epoque Paris. Pfeiffer delivers a powerhouse performance as Leia, a retired courtesan who agrees to mentor a spoiled, beautifully captivating young man nicknamed Chéri, played with magnetic vulnerability by Rupert Friend. What begins as a playful, temporary arrangement unexpectedly blossoms into a passionate 6-year love affair that defies social expectations in their massive age gap. But when society demands Chéri marry a younger, wealthy heiress, their exquisite fantasy clashes with the brutal reality of aging in time. Cinematographer Darius Kanji wraps every frame in silk, velvet, and warm sunlight, while Alexandre Desplat's bittersweet score carries the underlying erotic tension of a love that is as gorgeous as it is doomed. It's an incredibly rich, emotionally resonant journey about the deep ache of holding on to a perfect moment before it slips away. If you want a romance that is lush, witty, and deeply moving, Chéri belongs at the top of your watch list. Coming in at our penultimate spot is the deeply provocative, sun-drenched drama Adore. Set in an isolated, breathtaking Australian coastal paradise, the film stars Robin Wright and Naomi Watts as Roz and Lil, 2 lifelong best friends whose lives are completely intertwined. Shot on gorgeous 35mm film, this is a lush, cinematic dreamscape that feels entirely removed from the rules of ordinary society. The narrative tension begins when an unexpected spark of attraction ignites between Roz and Lil's grown son, triggering a mirror image affair between Lil and Roz's son. It is a wildly bold setup, but director Anne Fontaine treats this scandalous premise not with cheap sensationalism, but with a deeply sensual, melancholic beauty that values emotional complexity over judgment. You will find yourself swept up in the shimmering heat of the beaches, questioning the boundaries of family, devotion, and unconventional love. If you are looking for a romance that is intoxicating, visually stunning, and daring enough to walk a tightrope of forbidden desire, this Australian masterpiece is the hidden gem you need to experience immediately. It is an unforgettable journey into the heart of desire. We have reached our absolute peak pick, and there is no finer way to crown this list than with the breathtaking historical masterpiece, Victoria and Abdul. This is a film that challenges everything we think we know about connection, age, and devotion. Dame Judi Dench delivers a towering performance as an aging, deeply isolated Queen Victoria, suffocated by the rigid grief of her endless reign. Enter Abdul Karim, a young clerk from India, whose simple act of making forbidden eye contact sparks an improbable, deeply moving bond. Filmed on location at the Queen's actual private estate, the movie wraps you in a lavish world where duty slowly melts into genuine human warmth. This isn't a traditional romance of physical passion. It is a profound union of souls, where a young teacher restores the humanity of the most powerful woman on earth. The tension is electric, fueled by a hostile royal court led by the future King Edward VII, who view their connection as an absolute scandal. If you want a story that proves love can transcend history, culture, and time itself, this magnificent film is your ultimate destination. And that is our list of cinematic experiences for 10 older woman, younger man romance movies that will make you believe in love again. If you enjoyed this dive into the evolution of age gap storytelling, hit that subscribe button and leave a like to support the channel. When you look at the progression from the cynical detachment of the graduate to the modern empowerment found in the idea of you, which of these relationships do you think actually portrays a sustainable, healthy foundation for love? Here are some more videos of ours you can watch right now. Thanks for tuning in.